Hello everybody, it's Monday the 4th of October 2021 and it's the first proper day that the kids go back to school after the long summer holiday that was extended because of COVID, because this is 2021 and in 2021 COVID affects everything. It's 10 to 8, nearly 5 to 8, I don't know if you can see that. And already the kids are starting to come into the classrooms and you can hear them maybe in the hallways outside. And the reason why I'm here is because I'm a teacher. I know, it's crazy, man, it's crazy. I can barely believe it myself. I am a Brit teaching English to Moroccans under the French education system. And I don't speak a word of French. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out. So this is the staff room, as we would call it in English, and the salle de professeur in French. So you've got a kitchen here, which is very nice. We've got male and female toilets. These are our lockers. We're going to be a bit dark, but there we go. These are our lockers. And one thing I've wanted to do is sit in one of these James Bond evil chairs. Welcome, Mr. Bond. So, I've just had my first 1 hour with the kids. 24 there were in the room, and yeah, I think it went very well, actually. It's a bit strange. It's strange for me because it's the first time I've been in the school, and I have to be honest and say I didn't get a lot of preparation for it. They kind of pretty much threw me in at the deep end, really, which is okay. You know, I've been teaching for years, and I pretty much have my own style of doing things. So. But it was also strange for them because there was this weird teacher who didn't speak French and they had to speak English. And when I explained that to them at the very beginning, I think a lot of them were like going, whoa, this is going to be tough. But, you know, it worked out very well. One of the first things I did was I had these little sweet bars because, you know, their first lesson with me is at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I think that's ridiculously early. And some of them haven't had any breakfast. And if they have, they've rushed it. And they're still a bit tired. And then they have to speak what is a foreign language to them at first thing on a Monday morning. So I thought giving them like some little bits of food will help them regenerate themselves. So I did that. And the initial response when I offered them the food was like, no, it's okay. We don't want it. But at the end of the lesson, they all came up and they were taking these little sweets out the bag. So it was all cool. It was all cool. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, we spoke in English. I went round the class one by one. I introduced myself and I got them to talk a little bit about what they are doing and who they are and things like that. Just to try and get a little bit of information about them because, you know, I'm going to be working with them for a year. So I think it's really important to try and establish some form of relationship with the kids. So I've now got an hour's break. There's about 40 minutes left of my hour break. And then I have another group. And luckily, all my kids are at the same age group and at the same level within reason. So there isn't much preparation that I need to do. But I haven't done any preparation for any of these. I just go into the classroom and talk to the kids. That's kind of what my style is. So, here we are. It's the lunchtime period of my final day of the week here at the school, and it's as you can probably hear, there's kids in the playground. I'm trying not to show the kids because, you know, it's not, I don't think that's appropriate. So these are some of the things that we've been working on this past week. So we've been looking at vocabulary words to do with the bedroom, and also past continuous and present perfect. One of the things that always amazes me is present perfect and past continuous are two of the easiest examples of English grammar, and they can go years and years and not fully understand how we use those. And I find that quite difficult to understand how that can actually happen. So we're going to go through the 12 verb forms and the 4 conditionals, and hopefully by the end of this year they will have all of that grammar for them to be able to use as and when they need. So I'm doing a mix between grammar and vocabulary, and my belief is vocabulary always has to be relevant to who they are, which is why we're doing bedrooms. And yeah, it's been really fun. Every day I brought little cakes for them to eat, and yeah, I think I'm relatively well liked. It's been a fun experience. It's been a bit difficult at times because I think I'm the only non-French speaking teacher here. There might be one or two others, but I don't know. So I think that's been quite difficult for the school and also for me, because obviously everything is in French. And my French is just not that good. And I have no problem with it being not that good, because I think French is a bloody awful language. So, yeah, my first impressions of the school, the French education system. I hate the fact that the kids have to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's far too early, which is why I bring them food, because a lot of them have missed their breakfast. Or they get a little bit hungry mid-morning, so bring them some food. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. I have one more lesson this afternoon, and then that's it for this week. Yeah, it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed it. I've got like 20 odd kids in each class, 13-year-olds. So, you know, you can imagine that they're quite loud, they're quite noisy, but, you know, they're very keen. You know, they engage in the class a lot, because I get them to talk. You know, it's not about just going through a book, turning the page, this chapter and this chapter. I mean, I'll give you an example of why I think it's very difficult to follow a linear progress when we're teaching kids. This morning I had a kid who knew the word drool. It's such an unusual English word. I asked him where he got that word from, where he found the word. And he was watching an anime cartoon, a Japanese anime cartoon. And that was a word that was translated. And to understand that that is now how people pick up vocabulary and expressions makes you realize that using a book, going from Unit 1 to Unit 10, is just not worth the process, really. It's a valueless process. For example, in the book that I'm supposed to be teaching these kids, they're using simple present. They're explaining does and do. And yet the kids that I'm dealing with are already, some of them are already using present perfect continuous. And they're coming up with words like drool. So it's just becoming increasingly obvious how irrelevant books are, how out of date this idea of teaching a kid English or any language through a linear process. And what I'm trying to do is to avoid that. And so far, I've got away with it, because I haven't even opened the book. And that hasn't been a problem. I don't know to what extent that is going to become a problem in the long run. But right now, it's cool, it's working. I'm doing what I want to do the way I want to do it. And thankfully, the school is allowing that to happen. So I'm very grateful for that. Okay, I think that's going to be it. If I need to add anything else, I will.